You don't recognize it?
Should I?
Yeah, of course, yes, you should. That's my chorus and verse. I wrote that song.
I can't tell you how much I love this movie. It is so wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you,
Thank
Sarah.
you so much. Great to talk to you.
I would think it's a blessing and a curse being you because, Paul, I know you're married, but if you were getting married and Nick is your childhood friend and he is at your wedding, he's getting up on stage, and what are you requesting?
Oh,
If it's my wedding
If it's your wedding.
and I can get Nick to sing anything,
any song.
Yep.
God only knows.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I have a great rendition of that song.
No, I mean, God only knows what I'd pick.
Oh,
I don't
gotcha.
know. I have no idea. Yeah, it would be God only knows. I love that song. And I would.
We could do it together.
All right. What do you go like? Never gonna run if you don't walk.
One of my favorite scenes is actually the scene where, Nick, your character does get up on stage because, Paul, your character is expecting one thing. You're like, here we go. He's a little bit threatened. And sure enough, it turns into this fantastic encounter and you guys end up friends. For each of you, is there kind of a cool equivalent in your lives to a celebrity encounter where you expected one thing and sure enough, it turned into this great meeting, this great thing?
Ooh, yeah, there's these two guys named Kevin and Joe Jonas that I met this one time. And no, I don't know if I have a direct comp to what happens in the movie, but there was a time I was out at this place here in New York, and this amazing band was playing, and it was in kind of an open mic night. And lo and behold, the table next to me is Bruno Mars. He gets up and he sings Grenade, and it was amazing. And I was very intimidated because they called me up next and it wasn't nearly as good as Bruno. But that was cool when I got to meet him for a brief moment after and ended up playing a few shows with him later, a couple years later. And, you know, similar enough to what happened in the movie.
I would say Steve Martin. I've gotten to know a little bit over the last couple of years because I worked on that show, Murders in the Building. And my whole life been such a huge fan of his. I didn't want to bother him or try and ingratiate myself to him or anything. And he is the loveliest, kindest, greatest guy. And they say, you know, don't meet your heroes. But this was a case where I got to meet my hero, I got to work with my hero, and he actually was better than I could have ever imagined.
Yeah, I don't know if I told you this, I have a songwriting credit with Steve Martin.
What?
It's like the strangest fact about, I was writing a song with somebody, Kelly Clarkson heard the demo, and was like, I'm gonna put on my album, and then Steve Martin jumped on and played banjo and contributed to it.
Oh my God.
The craziest thing, but I've never met him in person.
Well, he's a great guy.
At least
I
you
can't wait
got
to meet him.
credit. Unlike, you know.
Yeah.
Did you, I know you're talented at both things. You're both performers on stage, you're both good actors, but did you find that you made each other better in different ways? Just spending time around each other and doing this project together?
Well, I mean, I've been such a fan of Paul's for so long, as we all are, and the very first night we were shooting was the big scene where we kind of meet and start jamming, and then the rest of the movie we're kind of off in our own worlds for a lot of the time. We come back and towards the end, but it was so great to just get to have that first night to start playing around, build the chemistry early. We had the freedom from John Carney, our brilliant director, to kind of just play. And so all the stuff, writing the song for the boy band and all that, was just us having fun, getting to know each other. And it sort of played out, I think, the perfect way for the film. And I would like to believe that working with Paul made me better. And I certainly feel like I left with, you know, a lot of great thoughts and kind of, you know, new things to take into my next project, working with someone as brilliant and kind as Paul is.
Wow, thanks, Nick. I would say yes also because, you know, Nick is such we all know he's a great musician, but he's a great actor. And I'd seen him in films, but he can really internalize what's going on. It's the most fascinating thing, and what every great actor does is you can kind of read what they're thinking, what's going on in their mind. They don't say anything, and he does it throughout the whole film. And you know, it was cool when I saw it for the first time because, like he said, there are scenes we're not working together. So I knew these scenes because I'd read them in the script, but when I saw them in the film, there's so many layers to his character that he brought to it. And I would see it in the scenes, a little bit that we did together in that opening scene. Just, you know, I can go kind of big. And so it was kind of a nice kind of point and counterpoint, and you know, he's a great actor. So usually when you work with really talented people, it makes your job easier. So that was the case, getting to work with him.
Your wonderful film was the opening film of the Phoenix Film Festival, which Harkins Theaters hosted. I also work with Harkins Theaters, one of the largest independently owned theater chains here in the U.S. So congratulations.
Oh, great. Thank you very much. That's great. How did it go down there in sunny Phoenix?
How did it go down there in sunny Phoenix? It made everybody want to go to Ireland, for one. I mean, everybody loved it. It was so well received. It's one of those films you've got to see in a movie theater. And I'm curious, because you actually did write the song that is the pivotal part of this whole film, just like Rick's character has to watch some pop star sing it on stage, what is it like for you to hear an actual pop star sing something you wrote on stage?
You know, it's amazing. It's like, we like the good bits of that song, I have to emphasize, are written by my co-writing partner, Gary Clark, who writes all the good bits. So the bits that you remember, he's responsible for, and the bits that nobody, they're all mine, and I'm very proud of them. But no, it's very nice to hear. I mean, particularly hearing Paul Rudd sing was one thing, because we're huge fans of him our whole lives. But Nick Jonas, hearing him sing it was like, oh my God, you know, it really is. His voice is just, we got definitely, you know, shivers down our spine when it wasn't me doing my falsetto at the piano for a change.
It is so, you raised such a great point. It is so good. One of my favorite scenes actually is when they first meet. And here comes Nick Jonas and Danny, and he gets up on stage, and Paul's character is like, here we go. He's a little bit threatened. And then all of a sudden it turns into this surprise. Nick's character honors Paul, includes him. And it just got me thinking, have you ever had a great celebrity you thought they'd be this way, and it turned into some fantastic encounter where they were super cool?
I actually think a lot of actors have a lot of other talents that it's really nice to see, because you get so used to them sort of being a bit typecast sometimes, or being a certain, you know, I'm a thriller guy or a drama guy or a comedy. That once we cast Paul, we were like, we have to cast for the other guy, we should go singer first, because, you know, we don't want too many actors acting that they're singers. So we decided when I met Nick, he was like, he's the guy for sure. We know what he can do in the singing and performing world. But it seems like, you know, I saw a couple of his movies. He was very still. He was very quiet. He wasn't looking for attention, which is the kind of acting I love. And then when it actually on our day one, he was like, he really did a terrific job, I think, you know, acting as much as Paul did a terrific job singing. I
would think being Nick Jonas is a blessing and a curse, because if he's my childhood friend and I'm getting married and he's at the wedding, he's getting up on stage. I mean, can he go to a wedding and not be asked to perform?
Yeah, I think he has to. I think he has to understand that any invitation he gets to a wedding is also a full performance.
Well, congratulations. I wish I could have done this in person. I want to give you a big hug, because this whole movie is a hug. I just love it.
Thank you. Well, we'll come to Phoenix with the next one.
So what are my options?
I'm afraid you don't have any options, Mr. Power. Legally speaking.
What about illegally speaking?